I'm not one of the more experienced CEOs if you look at the spectrum, but really for us what we found was a problem that desperately needed attention, and I think we found it in a really natural way. So at Mark 43, what we're doing is we're enabling law enforcement officers and all first responders to help keep our communities safe by completely reinventing the way they interact with data. In Washington, D.C., we're able to reduce the amount of time it takes to do an arrest report by 50% and the amount of time it takes to do all other reports by 80%. We were essentially returning 240,000 patrol hours a year back to the department, which means you have your officers on the streets for a longer time now to better serve the community. The light bulb moment was when we realized that this was a nationwide issue. Back in 2012, when we were doing a class at Harvard, we started working with the Massachusetts State Police and we started looking at their systems. And what we found was that the troopers out there were having a lot of issues entering in reports, working with all the information and the data. Every investor we work with is selected very carefully for how they shape the image of the company and how much they add to actually our growth. Someone like Jeff adds a lot of credibility in the cloud industry, and then someone like General David Petraeus adds a lot of credibility in the law enforcement space. I think that we've never truly had a very scary moment, but in some ways the responsibility we bear, right? This is not a traditional startup where we're working with consumers or we're working with data, that we're dealing with people's lives in some ways, right? These are investigations into homicides, sexual assaults. We're dealing with all the victim information. And every single person on the Mark 43 team takes that very personally and they take that to heart. What surprised me about running a company is really just the amount that you need to learn across so many disciplines, right? Whether that's finance, legal, HR, engineering, product, operations. Really, as a CEO, you need to make sure that every single part of the company is being well taken care of.